What is up, everyone? Happy Friday. I hope everyone is having an amazing start to their weekend. I know it's super duper hot here. I think the high today was 107. Feels like it's about 185. I'm over the summer weather. I am so ready for fall and everything about fall. It's one of my favorite times of year. I feel a little like discombobulated. A lot of you know that we have been dealing with a death in our family. Um, when I was younger, I did not know either one of my great grandfathers. Luckily, my children did have one of their great grandfathers in their lives. Actually, they had both of their great grandparents on my husband's side. And there's just something about great grandparents that is, I don't know, to me, it's just, I really hold that relationship very valuable. Because great grandparents, they can give you a part of your familial history that nobody else can. They've seen so many things that my children will never see in their lifetime. The world has changed so much. This time last year, my kids lost their great grandmother, and it was almost a year to the day that they're getting the. Oh, I know I'm gonna robot a little. Wi-Fi sucks, but the funeral was in North Carolina, so unfortunately, all of us couldn't be there. But we got it recorded, and it was a good day, all things considered. Their great grandfather was one of the most amazing people I have ever met. He never met a stranger, and he seized every opportunity that he came in contact with another human being to just tell them about Jesus and the love that Jesus has for all of us. I'm not going to get too deep into the religion thing because I want to respect everyone's beliefs. But yeah, and school just started here on the 9th. My youngest one went back to school. So it's been a busy time. So we are just going to do some hellos while we wait for other people to get in here. I don't even know who else is live right now. I didn't even have a chance to check. Let's see. I know I saw Nana, hello. Kiki Eyes, hello. Lee Marie. So who knows? I don't know. Is anyone else live right now, you guys? Probably the people that need to hear this aren't going to show up. So Mama T, if you are out there, you are more than welcome to come on in. I might even throw you a link in a little bit. Another person, I'm not really going to pick on her too much, but she needs to hear this. All things in are going to be talking, and some people's lack of that concept. Hello, Ghost, Pink Warrior, Night Stalker, F. Dutton, hello, hello. So YouTube is Skip Tracer extraordinaire has been doing some doxing. Hey, Libby, So the, the, the long and short of it is it. Hang on, Dodie. Let me try. Trying to get into a spot where it's not so bad. Yeah, so even with the new modem, it's not helping my Wi-Fi at all. That's okay. So even more so when you're doxing someone. Not only do people need to take personal responsibility when it comes. Hey, Linda. Okay, so people need to practice personal responsibility when it comes to start. And they need to take personal responsibility when it comes to just being honest with themselves and everyone else. Mama T, we're going to have a quick lesson in vindication because I'm really tired of talking about this comment. That the other day you had made a statement that Hummingbird was vindicated because nobody came up with a screenshot proving that she made the comment that she 185% was deleted so quickly does not mean she's off the hook. Okay. Hopefully it'll be better right now. Did you guys hear any of what I just said? I think I found a spot where it's going to cooperate. So, what I was saying is that better? I'm outside. It's super hot, but we're going to try to do it this way. Um, Mama T, you need to study up on what it means to truly. Is that better at all, Karma's Queen? Is it still? So, Mama T seems to think that simply because there was no screenshot provided about the comment, that she's off the hook. Well, that's just not the case. Not in my opinion. Just because the comment was deleted so fast that nobody could grab a screenshot doesn't mean you're innocent. It just means that you recognized you were in the wrong chat fast enough that nobody was able to grab it. I'm not going to talk about the stupid comment anymore. Hummingbird knows what she said. We all know what she said. This internet is getting on my nerves, so I'm hoping that it hangs on long enough for me to say what I need to say. I heard a lot of crap coming out of Mama T's mouth the last couple of days. This might tick Ernie off a little bit, but Mama T, when you want to be friends with someone, you need to hold them and yourself accountable. Ernie knows the things that he's done wrong in his life. That you are wanting to everyone forget about it like it never happened. And that's not how we play around here. You can't claim to be a channel that represents what's right is right and what's wrong is wrong when 90% out of the stuff coming out of your mouth is total bullshit. So, Mama T, I'm going to take a page out of your book and we are going to learn about personal responsibility this evening. I harbor no ill feelings towards her, but if your therapist is sitting there with you while you're doing a live stream and you are constantly poking and prodding at people, you cannot come on here and cry when they react to the things that you have said. Let it go. If you don't want to be a part of it, if you don't want to have something to do with people, the easiest thing to do is to shut your mouth about it. You don't have to, and this has happened quite a bit, right? Where she is listening to someone's live stream that she's like, I don't ever listen to anyone. I've seen you more than once hop on your channel and fire up a live to respond to something that's happening on another channel in that moment. It's crazy to me. You seem like a nice person. I advised you a few months ago to do something fun with your channel if that's what you want to do. I think you need to do that. Do your cooking, do your meditation, do whatever. But if this stuff is getting to you to the point where you are literally screaming and hyperventilating on someone else's panel, you need to take some personal responsibility and handle your stuff. I feel that people putting her on these panels and putting her in the line of fire is not helping the situation. It's not. It started out and she was like, I had mental illness, I have anxiety. And then it turned into, I am fully disabled, and you people, I'm going to sue you because you're coming after someone who is disabled. Back to, I just have anxiety. Anxiety is no joke. I have it. It can be completely debilitating. There again, you have to practice personal responsibility. At what point do you say to yourself, self, none of this YouTube shit is helping me and my mental illness or anything of the sort, so I need to rein it in a bit and do something different. You can't keep walking into the middle of a crowded room expecting no one to see you. It's just not good. So that's all I'm going to say for all things in life, because I don't want to pick on her. I don't want to set her off or make her feel bad. But girl, you need to take some accountability for your own actions. It's hard for anyone else to feel sorry for you when you keep repeating the same stuff over and over and over again. How many times do you need to talk about the phone calls that Ernie made to you? You guys had already settled it once. Don't bring it up again. It's not for public consumption. People are going to pick on you, they are going to comment on it, and it's just not healthy. Now, Mama T, I'm going to be a little bit harder on you because you know better. I think you know better. I just think that you don't care. You don't care enough. You have something to prove. And I had made a comment, I think in Ghost Chat the other day, and it said if Mama T's channel was a movie, it would be a sad version of The Legend of Billie Jean. I said that because when you listen to her and she's like, united together, whatever, I don't even know what her slogan is, but it's like a constant battle. And I don't even know if any of them fully understand what they're fighting for. Because if Mama T could explain to me at what point did you think that this whole van situation became a setup? Because I was there since day one. I've seen the whole 2 years play out. Yes, people made phone calls to the police. Yes, people got involved after the fact when it came to that van situation. But you're missing one big point, Mama T. He was already on YouTube and Facebook broadcasting these little episodes he was having before anyone could comment or make phone calls about it. Nobody told him, hey, go take this van and go freak out somewhere. That's not how it went down. And if it was a setup, and I've said this so many times, and she just doesn't listen to me. If I was in a situation where I had criminal charges pressed against me and I needed to handle it, you better believe that I would be working with my lawyer every free moment I had to build my case and prove that it was a setup. If you think it's a setup and if you can prove it, then go to court and do it. When you don't show up for your court dates, when you aren't practicing personal responsibility, then the shit just gets worse. It gets out of control. A little problem becomes an enormous problem. And then what? Then what are you going to do? You can't, are you going to run for the rest of your life? And Ernie, I'm going to be a better friend to you right now than Mama T is. I'm going to tell you that you had your part to play in all of that, and you need to go to court and you need to handle it. Mama T, as his friend, that's what you should be telling him. Stop enabling, stop making excuses, and tell your friend to have some personal responsibility. Hey, Raz, before I start cutting out again, we're going to go over personal responsibility. We're going to do like Mama T does, and we're going to go to the old Google, because we are going to learn not only what it is, but how you can get some personal responsibility in your life, right? Because as adults, we should all have it. Hey, Erica. So, this is from masterclass.com. What is personal responsibility? Personal responsibility means holding yourself accountable for your own actions and exercising self control. Those with personal responsibility work to understand their own power and agency in a given situation. They know external factors matter, but they also understand their individual responsibility as well. So that's what I was just talking about. There's going to be all these factors of people calling police or people trolling or making smart ass comments in chats and pretending to be Bolt Express in chats and this and that. But at the same time, whoever is at the core of the situation needs to take responsibility for their part in it. Implementing personal responsibility means that, especially after mistakes, you take time to figure out how you could have done things better and make plans to improve in the future. It doesn't matter if you just say, oh, yeah, I learned my lesson. Like, you really have to take stock in your actions and figure out where did you fall short? What could you have done to make I do this? Hang on. I take because I am not I am constantly growing and changing and learning not only about things around me, but I learn about myself. I have to take a personal inventory so that I can adjust my boundaries as needed for certain situations. Personal responsibility also includes the ability to take credit for the positive contributions you made. I know that when stuff goes right, a lot of people want to be like, yeah, that was all me. I'm the reason it turned out so spectacular. Well, no, don't be greedy. Don't hog up all the glory, especially when you know in that situation you're in the wrong. Nobody got Ernie arrested over that van situation but Ernie. And I tried to tell Mama T in her chat the other day, it doesn't matter what anyone says, it's all hearsay until it gets handled in court. And then you can do a FOIA and get all the records and the files and look at exactly what happened. Nobody knows what happened during that situation except Ernie and the police that were involved whenever they caught up with him. Now, Mom T, all things in life. Okay. So, when you want to improve yourself, Mama T, this one's for you. Number one is for you. Be organized. Create a system that organizes your life in a manner where you can stay most aware and situated in your responsibilities. Organization is a big thing. I'm a big list maker. I didn't really say, like, I'm watching my screen so that when the signal goes down, I try to stop talking. So I'm just kind of picking up where I left off, Dodie and Erica. I'm probably going to cut this short because for some reason it's really bad today. When I plan a live, Mama T, I try to have all the stuff that I'm going to be referencing laid out. I take notes. I listen to things to kind of refresh my memory so that I know what I'm talking about. I try to schedule and plan so that if there is someone that I need to either be in the chat or possibly come on panel, then I try to schedule around other people's lives. Um, like right now, I wasn't able to plan. I didn't know Constance was live, so that's where everyone is, I'm sure. But we're ducks in a row. You want to come on and rage. You have to balance a weakness with a strength of creating a system of proactive notation. Mom T, you can find all of this on masterclass.com. I'll even put the link in the description when we're done. Create boundaries. Know your limits and set boundaries that prevent you from overextending or overcommitting. Now, I need to work on this. I have a hard time saying no. When people need me, I have a hard time saying no. I take a lot on my plate at once, and it can be a disaster sometimes. Communicate clearly. I always try to use my words. I try to I over explain sometimes because I feel like more details works out way better than not enough. Like if I say that something's happened, I'm going to explain what happened, why I think it happened, what I saw that led me to that conclusion. So if someone's wrong, you need to explain to them why they're wrong. Back it up with some proof. You keep saying, Mama T, that you're going to start from the beginning and go over the, but at the same time, yesterday, I think it was, you were like, had a moment where you were like, oh, well, let's just stop. Just everyone stop talking about it. Stop coming at people. Well, Missy, if you're going to recap the whole last 2 years of everything went down, get ready. You better buckle up because people are going to be coming at you full force because you are wrong about a lot of things. And I will be happy to explain to you where you're getting it wrong. When You have to communicate clearly. We just went over that a little bit. Know what you're talking. Shush, Judah. Judah. My puppy was communicating clearly that he needs to go outside. Okay. Have humility. Practice humility and the ability to self reflect honestly. If you're not being honest with yourself, then how can you be honest with everyone else? If you're constantly building yourself up and pumping yourself up with a bunch of bullshit, then that's what you convey to everyone else. It's a strength to be aware of your limitations and faults as long as you aren't obsessing over them. Humility allows you to respond in a mature way to both successes and faults. Take pride in what you know you do well and acknowledge the other people and circumstances that help you perform in those positive ways. Like, you can't think that out of the hundreds of thousands of people that have seen all this shit play out, that only you guys are right. I hear a lot of blame coming out of certain people about it's just constant stalking, bullying, and harassing. Stalking, bullying, and harassing. Have you not forgotten about all the people that have been doxxed or talked about or had their whole lives exposed from that side of the pond, Mama T? Have you forgotten all that? In fact, one of the people who was like full force in the little Tiggers for so long has just put someone else in danger with all this skip tracing bullshit. There's a time and a place for skip tracing. It's a necessary career for people to go into. This is not the place, though. It's actually an abuse of power. It's an abuse of your profession when you are just out here skip tracing random people on YouTube with malicious intent. I don't know exactly what happened with the spooky situation, so I'm not gonna, I'm not ability and put some boundaries and just say that from what I've heard, it's not a good situation and it should have never happened. And why did it happen? Because someone got pissed off? Are you kidding me? No one should ever have to live in fear over YouTube bullshit. And that's across the board. That's why I don't agree with the doxing stuff. I'm sure the day will come when I have to deal with it, but that's why I always try to stay on the right side of wrong. I don't step on anyone's toes. I don't come out here trying to put people in their place all the time. It's just not cool. YouTube never used to be like this. And when certain people created channels and started doing certain things, that's when it happened. I don't need to name those people. Those people know who they are. But it's this whole skip tracing bullshit that had a big part to play in how everything has gone downhill. So practice self-control. Be personally responsible for the actions you take and the words that come out of your mouth. The truth is usually more complex and takes time to internalize. There's always time that you can assess how to effectively improve on something, whether it be like things in your personal life, things with your channel, things with your family, things with your children, the way you do things in your free time. Every day should be a growing and a learning experience. Don't take 1 second for granted. because if you do, you are selling yourself short. You are you're just not allowing yourself the ability to live up to your fullest potential. You're going to be a train wreck. So, nowhere in any of the personal responsibility stuff that I just read, and that was just a taste of it, did it mention lying. Nowhere did it say that you need to lie to yourself or lie to other people. I don't know what it was, Mom and T, that just something about you and this latest situation with the comment that was made and the way you've been handling things since then, it just struck a nerve in me. I try to always be kind and fair and look at the big picture and look at things as a whole. And you're not the only one that's made mistakes, don't get me wrong. But you seem to be hyping yourself and your followers up for this big war, and it's just so silly. It's so silly. One, it's not your battle to fight. You have enough going on with yourself in your own little channel and your own life to be worrying about rather than trying to rally these troops over something that could really get someone in a lot of trouble. Ernie could be in a lot of trouble when he goes to court. So you need to be a better friend. You need to be a better friend to him and be like, look, how can I help you figure this out? How can I help you, like, really do something good for your situation? Can I put you in contact with lawyers? Can I make phone calls for you? Lord knows you have all the time in the world. But instead, you're on here picking fights with people day in and day out, and I don't see you winning too many of them. Not to mention, you let people be complete assholes to me in your chat. And I don't appreciate that. I got Rosebud crawling on my butt every time I go in there. And I'm not in there causing trouble. I'm not being rude to anyone. I'm just telling the truth as I see it. Every day is an opportunity to do something different. Obviously, whining and crying about the same stuff every day, it's not helping. I know that when some text messages were being shown the other day from a certain group chat on Peach's channel, it kind of painted you out to be a liar, didn't it, Mama T? It proved that you were getting money coming in from all different places and that your one lie that you're so adamant, I only told one lie. You are the same age as me, Mama T, and I know that you have told more than that one lie in your lifetime. So it's when there's a pattern of this that people kind of give you side eye and wonder what the fuck you're talking about. I don't, maybe I'm just a weirdo and look at things differently. I don't know. Like, you have to care about yourself enough. There's some things I don't care what people think about me. I don't. You know, you don't like my hair, I don't care. You don't like my eye color, I don't care. You don't like the fact that my hips are big, I don't care. But when it comes to my integrity and my reputation and the way I do things and about silly stuff like this, Like, I care. I'm not going to get up here and have a pattern for lying and then expect that one day when I want to talk about something serious, I just want everyone to fall in line and believe me. It doesn't work like that. The past is a very good indicator for the present and the future. And Mama T, at one time I saw you all up in Easy's chat, and you were, it was all fine, all great, as long as everyone was agreeing with you. But when people started calling out inconsistencies, then you have no use for him or anyone over in his chat. Well, anyone in his chat includes me too. So there again, you're shitting all over me again. I gave you a challenge, gave you the name of a case, and said, I have given you the name of the case and told you to, check it out. If you want to report on these cases and you want to do better for yourself and things like that, I'll help you. I love helping an underdog, and you are an underdog. I'm sorry. That's just the way it is. You are not some YouTube veteran that knows it all and knows how everything goes. You're wanting to make fun of people and say, well, you've only been here 2 months. How could you possibly know? Well, because enough of us know the history and what actually happened so we can share that knowledge with other people who are only 2 months on the scene. You don't know a lot about a lot of things either because you're hyper focused on this one situation. You are so hyper focused on defending the Tigers and this and that you're getting a lot wrong too. So, Mama T, I'm issuing you another challenge. You can either come talk to me now, or we can do it at another time. But I want to know, do you feel that the van situation was a setup? I'm really curious. And the reason I'm inviting you to do it on a panel with me is because trying to have that conversation from the chat is ridiculous. I get timed out. It's just not worth it. Is there any, I mean, I know there's not a lot of people here right now, but I expect that because my internet sucks. But is there anyone in the chat that knows what she's talking about? What part of it she thinks was a setup? Because I've tried to explain to her that the pictures we saw of the van, there was damage. I mean, Ernie can even come talk to me right now if he wants to. Still, just like I said a month and a half ago, I don't wish him any ill will. I don't, I want good things for his life, just like I want good things for everyone. But until you humble yourself and take that personal responsibility for the mistakes that you've made, good things can't come. You have to handle some of the bad and have closure on that before you can invite anything better in. I think that Andrew Hiltz being in the picture yesterday was a joke. I don't think, I'm going to call your bluff. I don't think that there's a bunch of people out there pounding the pavement wanting Ernie to come back on the Summer Wells case. That's another situation that I've been here since day one and I've watched everything unfold. And I'm sorry, I think that Andrew's only motivation for being on here and even talking about that sweet little girl, he wasn't even in the area when all of it happened. He wasn't living there. He doesn't really have. I mean, he kind of just used his son to make a name for himself. Yes, using an addict to prove some kind of point. It's sad. And I mean, where are these people hearing all of this bring Ernie back. I mean, no offense if I don't know exactly what Ernie did for the case. I know he has his theories. I know they went to the racetrack, but anyone with any kind of knowledge of crime scenes and how to handle them knows that you don't pick up evidence and put it in a plastic bag. There's just certain procedures and protocols. I don't um I don't know why Summer's case was even such a huge part of the conversation yesterday. I tried to listen to that part and I had to turn it off because it was just making a mockery out of the situation. And I don't think that anyone needs to use Summer's case and especially Andrew to try to prove a point about something else. That's just my opinion. Anyone who's been involved with Summer's case since the very beginning, that's a very touchy subject. And it has created issues in the trend. People have kind of lost their minds over it. I don't know. My internet is so wonky right now. I'm probably going to have to cut this short. I know there's other people live, but I'm going to go live tomorrow and do my little birthday thing. With everything going on with the family the other day, my heart wasn't in it. So we'll do that live stream tomorrow and we can still talk about some of this stuff. Maybe there won't be so many people live at the same time. But the ones that were here, I appreciate it. It's going to stay up. People want to listen. Maybe Mama T will catch wind of it and she can actually join me on panel tomorrow because I'm not afraid of confrontation. We can hash this out like big girls. But the point is you can't keep inserting yourself in and criticizing other people and talking about every move they make and making accusations against them and then whine and cry when they respond. Like that's the biggest hamster wheel that I see going all the time. It's just people constantly. It's like, when are you going to learn? How many times do you have to cry that someone's responding to you poking them constantly? It's nuts. I don't mind monetized channels following or even chiming in on the Summer Wells case. I do mind a great deal. Those who play tragedy pimps trying to say or do anything to get clicks, views, and donations. Yes, that's the thing. Like, it's one thing to present the facts and keep everyone up to date on any new developments or any new news stories that have come out about it. But when you're just constantly going over the same stuff and pointing, bringing out these conspiracy theories, like about fake feds and all that stuff, like how many times can you rehash the same crap? Because all it does is muddy the water. Um, how old is that case? Summer's case is 2 years old. She's been missing a long time. I remember when the Amber Alert came out. That's like I've when I say I've been there since the very beginning, I literally remember the first conversation I had with someone immediately after the Amber Alert came out. And it was at that point that we were all just nonstop. That's a situation where you want to kind of look at family history and things like that and what kind of people we're dealing with because you're trying to uncover any clue of what could have happened to that child. But looking into people for just creator on creator drama is just nuts. Hey, Roswell. I am so happy that her brothers are in a place where they have some stability and structure. And I just, I really hope that they pull through that situation, and are able to move forward and be productive. I have always felt like that reward fund, once it got to the point of expiration, I felt like that reward fund should have been put into a trust for the brothers, so they could either use it for, their college educations, or do something like start an organization for other missing children. I mean, the possibilities are endless, but I really hope that they're able to get through this and grow up and be, productive members of society and break the cycle of the chaos that they grew up in. I was like flipping through my news feed the other day, and I came across a video where they were talking about another creator felt like that house was suitable for children to be growing up in, and it broke my heart. That house was not suitable for anyone to be living in, let alone children. I don't know that we'll ever get answers as to what happened to Summer. In my gut, I have always felt, I felt like it was an accident and it was well covered up. I don't, a lot of people are leaning towards the like trafficking, she was sold theory. I feel like it was just a careless accident because she wasn't being watched properly. And, they were able to cover it up and get away with it. I don't know. I never, even though I was around and I heard all the theories and all the information that people were finding out about, family members and friends of the family and coworkers and stuff like that. I never, nothing ever caused me to gravitate towards a trafficking or kidnapping type situation. I feel that unfortunately she is no longer with us, and it was a tragic accident that they've gotten away with for all this time. I know that I think Ernie was leaning towards it being like, I know he called the house the sex compound, and I think that he feels she was traded or trafficked or something like that. That's always a possibility, but I feel that if that were the case, that over these past 2 years there would have been something of evidentiary value that led to that. um, that they would have found something on, cell phones or computers. There would have been something like a history, a pattern of odd phone numbers. Just there's just so many that could have. It was not the parents. Interesting. I'm open to any and all possibilities and theories. That's what I do as alive. I know most disagree. Even things we know sure look bad. Yeah, Elizabeth Smart. I mean, that case still amazes me to this day. I mean, by the grace of God, she was found all those years later. The world is a scary, ugly place that we live in. So I just hug your babies tight. That's what really pissed me off about that comment was, I don't know, there was just something about it. And I know they say, well, she couldn't have made that comment. She cares so much about children. That's fine. You can care about children and still make a smart ass comment to fit in with everybody else, when, I don't know. I'm not convinced it was a clone, though. We all know who made the comment. We all know who deleted the comment. If a clone is going to come in a chat and make some vile comment, they're going to leave it there because that's what the purpose of it is for everyone to see it. Clones don't come in there and trolls don't come in there and make a nasty comment and then retract it right away. That's just not how it works. Well, if there is an update coming soon on what happened this summer, I would love to hear it. But because my signal's acting so wonky and today has just been kind of a bummer day, I'm going to go ahead and let you guys go. And we will reconvene tomorrow. Mama T, come talk to me. Isn't that what you always say? Come talk to me. We'll get to the bottom of it. You can tell me why you think it was a setup, and I can tell you all the bullet points that tell me otherwise. So hopefully things don't get too wild out here on this Friday night. Jody, McKenna, y'all should be ashamed of yourselves. I know that a lot of us don't like, or don't get along. I'm not going to say don't like because we really don't know each other well enough to like or dislike. I've heard a little bit about spooky situation and what a disaster this recent doxing thing is. So if everyone could just, send well wishes, prayers, because when someone doxes and puts someone who has been a prior victim of any sort of DV or anything like that in danger, that's just a bad move. And the two people responsible for that, Jody and McKenna, should be ashamed. Be ashamed. Hang your heads and take some personal responsibility and do better next time. So I appreciate each and every one of you. I think I have it scheduled for tomorrow at 1:30. That could change. So just be watching for the notification. As always, hug your loved ones. You never know if tomorrow is going to come. And thank you for everyone who has been praying for me and my family throughout this difficult time. But life goes on, and like we call them peeps. Like Peeps told us, it wasn't goodbye, it is see you later. So everyone have a safe and happy Friday night, and I will talk to all of you tomorrow.